Good morning, everyone. Uh, in our previous class, we have studied about the ballot paper. What is ballot paper? We have studied that ballot paper was a sheet of paper in which uh, the names of the contesting election candidates, along with the party's name and symbol, are listed. Here we have read about what is a ballot paper. Then next, further in the same topic we have seen about that where the polling booths are located in on the election day. So there we have seen that these polling booths are located or situated usually in the local schools or government offices and all. Then further in this we have understood about the EVM, that is electronic voting machine, and this machine is used to record the votes. Previously, ballot paper was there, but nowadays EVM is used to record the votes and all. Then about election commissioner also we have read about election commission. Then the chief election commissioner is the head of the election commission. So the to conduct the free and fair election in our country, independent election commission is there, in which chief election commissioner is there, who is the head of election commission, and the election commission implements the code of conduct also. Here further we have seen that the code of conduct is implemented by the election commissioner, and he has the right to punish those candidates or parties that violates the code of conduct. Then further we have read about that the chief election commissioner is appointed by whom? About appointed by the president of India. Then people's participation in election is usually measured by the voters turnout figure. Now in this further next topic here, popular participation. Now who all participate and how we see that people are participating in free and fair manner, this coming topic is all about. Now popular participation, another way to check the quality of the election process, is to set whether people to see whether people participate in it with enthusiasm, means whether really people are participating in the election process with great we can say full happiness, or they are just provoked by somebody, or they are tortured, or we can say they are pulled out to just cast the vote, or they themselves are ready to cast the vote. So if the election process is not free and fair, people will not continue to participate in the exercise. That means if the this election process, the whole process is not in the free and fair manner, they are not conducted in the free and fair manner, then definitely people will lose interest and they will not participate by casting their vote in choosing the representative. So now read these charts and draw some conclusions about participation of India. Uh, Participation in India. That means now these charts will show that how much participation was there in UK and how much participation in India. This is election year given 2005, I think. Then people's participation in election is usually measured by the voters turnout figure. Now what is voters turnout figure? Here, people's participation in election is usually measured in uh, voters turnout. Voters turnout means how many people have come to cast the vote. That is the turnout figure. The people, the number of people who are casting the vote to choose the representative, that number is called as turnout figure. Then turnout indicates the percentage of eligible voters who actually cast their vote. That means and these people who are casting the vote, they are uh, those percentage of people which are really eligible to cast their vote to choose the representative. Over the last 50 years, the turnout in Europe and North America has declined. Why the last 50 years the turnout has declined? That means the voters have cast less of votes. They have not taken so much interest to choose the representative. Might be that their free and fair elections are not there. In India, the turnout has either remained stable or actually gone up. Now in India, we can see that this turnout figure, I already told that the eligible voters who actually cast their vote, that is called as turnout figure. Turnout doesn't mean that they don't go and cast the vote, but the people who go and cast the vote, that is to the eligible voters, those who are 18 and above, and they are included in the voters list. They only cast the vote, and this percentage has either remained stable in India or actually gone high. Here we can see about that UK. This red line is shown uh, uh, with the decrease of voters in the UK. But whereas we see the blue line either remaining stable or gone up. So this shows that in India, either the voters turnout remains stable or it goes up. Means most of the people cast the vote, they take interest to choose the representative. Second, in India, the poor, illiterate, and underprivileged people vote in larger proportion as compared to the rich and privileged section. Now you can underline this. In India, which are the uh, most of the people, which category of the people mostly cast the vote. So the in India, mostly poor people, illiterate people, those who are not having so much education, or underprivileged people, that they are not getting special privileges. They are underprivileged, SCs, STs, and all. They cast the vote more in large proportion to the as compared to the rich class. This is in contrast to Western democracies. For example, in United States of America, poor people, African Americans, and Hispanics vote much less than the rich and white people. That means they are totally opposite situation is there in United States of America, USA, that there the rich take more interest in the election process rather than the underprivileged or poor people. Here also it is given about the social groups. The source figure for India for National Commission studied at 2004 CDS. That is a figure from US from National Election Study 2004 University of Michigan. So these are the figures turnout in India and US by social groups 2004. This is the turnout figure given here. The common people in India attach a lot of importance in elections. So the common people uh, cast vote more than the special categories people, that is rich and high class people. They feel that through election they can bring pressure on political parties to adopt policies and programs favorable to them. So you can underline this, why common people in India attach more importance to cast the vote or in election process. The common people in India attach a lot of importance to election because they feel that through election they can bring the pressure on the political parties to adopt the policies and programs which can be fruitful for them, for the upliftment of them, or which will be beneficial for the lower caste poor people. They also feel that their vote matters in the way things are run in the country. That means whatever laws, rules, and regulations are made in the country, uh, all depends on the vote which these people cast. And this is the feeling, this is the belief of these poor people, that if they will cast the vote, they are doing a great job in choosing the representative who will listen to their um, problems and concerns, and work for their upliftment or for their benefit. Now this again is the mm, uh, figures, that is, do you think vote makes the difference? That means this blue part has effect, has no effect, and don't know. These are the three categories. That means which shows the percentage of people who think that really, that means 67%, more than half people of the country thinks that their vote makes a difference to choose the government. Rather, it has no effect, means to cast the vote makes no difference to the people. And then 15% says that they don't know that their vote makes a difference, any difference to the formation of the government or not. Next, the interest of the voters in election related activities has been increasing over the years. During 2004 elections, more than one-third voters took part in the campaign related activities. More than half of the people identified themselves as being close to one or the other political party. One out of every seven voters is the member of the political party. That shows that day by day the interest of the people is increasing in the election process to cast the, either to cast the vote or becoming the member of the any political party. Now, acceptance of election outcome. I think this much is clear, everybody. Now, acceptance of election commission, election outcome. The final test of the free and fairness of election has in the outcome itself. That means whatever final decision after the counting of the vote, what is the situation in the country, that shows that really the free and fair elections are being held in the country. If elections are not free or fair, the outcome always favors the powerful. Means if the elections uh, are not held in free and fair manner, then in that case the person who is chosen as a candidate or as a representative, he will be of the powerful party or powerful group, or under some subordination of under some uh, rich class people. So this can be clearly seen if the free and fair election is not being held in the country. Losing party does not accept the outcome of a rigged election. Now, the ruling party, uh, losing party does not. Now, when the elections are being held, if it is in free and fair manner, then then definitely the good representative who will care and concern for the people will be chosen. But the losing party does not accept the outcome of the rigged election. That means rigged election means the act of dishonesty. If the act elections are held in an dishonest ways, by or organizing or arranging the result of the election or the competition before it happens, only it does to achieve the particular outcome. That means the other parties, the parties who had lost, who did not get the representation in the government, they will really not accept that outcome of that means the of choosing that particular representative as a government on the government seat. The outcome of India's election speak for itself. That means the ruling party routinely lose elections in India both at the national and state level. That means in the national and state level, uh, the ruling party elections in India lose elections. That means if they will not work for the benefit of or the upliftment of the people, they will definitely in the coming election will lose their position. In fact, in every 2 out of 3 election held in last 25 years, the ruling party lost, and the reason is why. Reason is what? Because people were not satisfied with the prevailing government, which was working for them, but the working will was totally for the profit gain of the particular party candidate only, or for the particular party only, and they were not having any concern to the problems or difficulties of the people. That is why if we see the last 25 years the ruling party has lost. That means other party was given chance to uh, get the seat in the government, to form the government. In the US, the incumbent or sitting uh, elected representative rarely loses an election. That means in US also an incumbent is one the current holder of the political office. Incumbent means the current holder of the office, political office. That means in USA an incumbent or sitting elected representative really loses the election. In India, about half of the sitting MPs and MLAs lose election, and that is why these MPs and MLAs lose election means they continuously they are not having the same position year after years. Now, candidates who are known to have spent a lot of money on buying votes and those with the known criminal connections often lose elections. Another reason for the MPs and MLAs to lose election is that they are having the criminal connections with them, or they are spending a lot of money. So this is another reason for losing the election. Barring very few disputed elections, the electoral outcomes are usually accepted as people's verdict by defeated party. Finally, whatever decision is there, that means whosoever has chosen, whosoever has got the most of the votes, that is only chosen as the final decision, as the representative who will rule on behalf of the people, and this has to be the final verdict, we can say final opinion of the defeated party also have to accept this. Now, challenges to free and fair elections. All this leads to a simple conclusion. Now, all these we have seen of what all things are included in the process of election, how elections can be made democratic, how the people can uh, lead to the free and fair elections, and how election commissioner, or we can say election commission, helps uh, to run the election process in a free and fair manner. So all these this leads to a simple conclusion that elections in India are basically free and fair. So whatever till now we have studied, we have observed that really elections in India are free and fair, are held in free and fair manner. The party that wins an election and forms government does so because people have chosen it over its rivals. That means the party who forms the government uh, does whatever means promises they had made for the upliftment of the people just because they have been chosen it over the rivals, means the other political parties who were uh, standing in opposition, they have been chosen against those opposition party, and that is why they form the government which can be beneficial for the people. And this may not be true for every constituency, means every constituency, as you have already understood, that the whole country is divided into different constituencies in different areas. Particular candidates are uh, chosen to fight for the election for each and every party. So in every constituency this may not happen, that the election and the party that has win and forms the government uh, really works for the people. The few candidates may win purely on the basis of money power and unfair means. The few candidates, it is not correct to say that in each and every constituency, whatever was there in the whole country, free and fair elections were there. But somewhere in some places, in some constituencies, might be the money power or unfair means can also be used. But the overall verdict of the general election still reflects people's preference there. But in overall view, if we will see that the party who comes out as the winner of the voters, who has achieved most of the votes, that reflects the popular preference of the people. That means the most of the people in the country wanted that particular candidate only to be chosen as the representative to rule on behalf of them, to make government on behalf of them. There are very few expectations to this rule in the last 60 years. In in our country, this is what makes Indian election democratic. Now, yet the picture looks different if we ask deeper questions. Means overall, if we will see the outer side, we will see it is very good in India, that free, and we are totally we go to the things that yes, free and fair elections are being held in India. But if deeply we will go, then our people, the question arises that our people preferences based on real knowledge, that the people who are choosing the representatives, they are really having that much of knowledge and sense to whom they are choosing will be the is the real choice, or is the good representative who will work for the benefit of the people. Are the voters getting the real choice in election, really level playing field for everyone? Can an ordinary citizen hope to win elections? So all these questions arises if we will go to the deeper things in what all is happening in the election processes. Question of this kind bring the uh, many limitations and challenges of Indian elections to our attention, and these include, so many limitations are there. So these limitations are the further we will see about the limitations. Now here picture is see in the cartoon form it is given. It is an accurate picture of what happens to the voter before and after election. So the voter is casting the vote. Previously, what happens, that all these leaders are joining the hands so that the voter can cast the vote in their favor. But after, as soon as the voting is done, the representative has been chosen, what happens, the leaders pass away like this, and they do not even care for the voters. So this is the condition today. And when elections are being held, and then when elections process is completely over, the casting of vote is done, counting of vote is done, and the result is declared. After the result declared, the leader of the uh, chosen party, they are just moving like this, giving no response to the voters, thinking no uh, promises, or not even looking towards the voters. Now, what are limitations are there? Candidate and parties with a lot of money may not be sure of their victory, but they do enjoy a big and unfair advantage over smaller parties and independents. That means uh, the candidate or the party who is spending a lot of money, they are not sure enough that really they will. win the elections or not, but as such they had an unfair advantages over the small parties, means over the small parties think that yes, they are really uh, means they cannot spend so much money. The small parties, they think that they really do not spend so much money, and a feel of uh, insecurity in the mind of small parties is always there. Then second, in some parts of the country, uh, candidate with the criminal connection have been able to punish others out of the electoral race and to secure the ticket from the major parties. Another type of uh, thing practices is that these candidates or these political parties have the criminal connections, they have the connection with the criminal people, and this has been able to punish others out of the electoral, means due to the criminal connections they are pushing others, the real candidates who really want to have the seat, they are pushed out of the electoral race, means they are not able to fight in the election to win the election, just because those few party candidates are having criminal connection, and their party ticket is secured on the basis of these criminal connection only. Some families tend to dominate political parties. Tickets are distributed to relatives from these families. Now, another reason is that some families tend to dominate political parties. That means tickets are distributed to the relatives of these family members only. So now, whatever tickets are there to fight for the election, they are distributed among the family members only, so that whosoever will come to form the government will be from their family only. Very often, elections offer little choice in ordinary citizens, for both the major parties are quite similar to each other, both in policies and practices. So, a less choice is given to the citizens to the voters who will cast the vote, because mostly all the political parties, all the candidates have same policies, same promises to make in front of the voters, and it makes the voters difficult to think about to which candidate they had to cast the vote, or which candidate or political party will really work for them. So it provides a little choice for the voters to think about to whom to they have to cast the vote. Then smaller parties and independent candidates suffer a huge disadvantage compared to bigger parties. Now, smaller parties, those who are not having criminal backgrounds or those who cannot spend so much money, and those who are fighting the election independent as an independent candidate, they suffer a huge disadvantage as compared to the bigger parties, because they are having the power, the muscle, the money and the muscle power with them. Muscle power means the criminal connections with them. These challenges exist not just in India but also in many established democracies. These deeper issues are matter of concern for those who believe in democracy. So these points are the to be in the to be concerned if we believe in really a democratic country. That is why citizens should activities and organizations have been demanding reforms in electoral systems, and that is why due to these malpractices, uh, the citizens, we can say, are demanding for the reforms, for the changes to be made in electoral system. And can you think of some reforms what can, and all, these are the questions, just general questions. So today till here only. In our next class we will continue with the question and answers. Till then, read the lesson, learn each and everything means thoroughly. Exams are approaching, whatever syllabus is given, it will all come, and I think this was the last only drainage system is remaining, and drainage system 2 only map work will come. So uh, go through this lesson. If you are any having any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, now type present in the chat box once again. Thank you.